success with Global.Media.com. Let's celebrate it with or without champagne or rum.
Yay! Yeah, I'm always excited about doing shows, Dr. Paula. I'm always excited. Welcome, I live in as well. You know, I'm having a difficult week, but I'm here. We're here. Because I think this show is part of, I guess, maybe my mission for 2025, 2026. Yeah. See, Dr. Paula, she tells me, James, I'm like, damn, we have to do something about this, right? So one thing she said is that many of my friends, I still love you, by the way, whatever I say, right? And I say many of my friends are information seekers. Very few are doers now. That's a realization, my friend. Yeah. I guess I dream of a world of friends who are doers, the ones who have that vision, because we'll have a vision. We'll have a unique gift, and I'm sure if you listen to me long enough, you must know this yourself as well. Are you living that vision? Only doers live their vision, right? Only doers live their mission. So too many people are just, they know the mission, but they're not doing what it takes to make it happen. As a result, their life doesn't change. They can't feel the joy. They can't feel the fulfillment. They can't feel the success. They can't make the money, Dr. Paula. All these things, right? This is why we're doing this room. Yes. And so this is a 3-event series, 3 parts to this series. What's it called? The hidden cost of hesitation is what we'll call it. And so all of this leads us to a workshop that's going to change your lives in January the 12th. Yeah, literally in one afternoon, Dr. Paula is going to give you, I guess, what do I call it? Is it the awakening, maybe? The awakening, the awareness, and the strategy to move beyond inaction, inactivity, delay, doubt, into actually taking the steps you need to take to achieve that goal of yours, whatever it may be. That's what excites me. Anyway, I could waffle all day, by the way. Look, we say, look, Dr. Paula is very, very direct. You can tell she's American. No, but she's more direct. She's more direct than most. She's genuinely, task focused. I guess like me, obsessed to make change, to bring transformation. So this show is not the same as all the others. It's just not. So yes, Dr. Paula's going to talk. But Dr. Paula has homework for you to do if you're serious. And I'll say before I stop talking, finally, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Of course we would. As usual, join the studio. Come and share your thoughts. Come and share your experiences, your strategies, your questions. But Dr. Paula tells me, don't let them come and waffle on stage. There's no waffling today. Straight talk, real talk, right? Anyway, enough from me setting the scene. Dr. Paula, how are you doing?
I am doing well, Annie. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited about this series, The Hidden Cost of Hesitation. I am a strategist, business coach, been in business for almost over 30 years now, doing training development, started in corporate, laid off, and all of life's happenings happen. And so one of the things I found that with people, and there are certain things that happen to them throughout their lives or their business or their careers that cause them to hesitate. And because of that, they lose out on money, they lose out on time, and they lose out on their dream. And all of the people that they would be blessing because they're doing what they were created to do don't have that opportunity to meet them and grow. So this first session we're doing, which I love that we came up with, is the cost of staying curious and uncommitted. And what does that look like? So I'm welcoming everybody today. We're going to take a deep dive. But before we get started, I want to ask a simple question. How many people have promised themselves something? I'll make this move. I'll start this project. I'll finally take a leap, but then let life, fear, or hesitation get in the way.
Mm.
You can put your answer in the chat, or Annie will open the mic. But anybody have one thing they want to share?
Yeah, no, please do. Please do, my friends. Do share. We do want you to be active today, not just listen passively. Linda, I see you. Mr. Calm, I know you're here as well. You haven't shown up on my YouTube yet. Skyrail, and I love YouTube names. I really do. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. My superstar friend Gladys, we see you. Say hello, no, and hello, any and Paula and audience members, our LinkedIn family, as we call them. Gladys. There's many more people here as well. So so I can see 10 on my YouTube, and this a good nearly 10 as well on LinkedIn.
Okay,
So
well,
do say hi, my friends. Do say hi. Say where you join us from. I can't welcome you if we don't see you. I know you're here, but I just don't know who you are. So you have to say something that way I know who it is, and I can welcome you with the applause that you deserve. And you speak anywhere today, but you're here with us. As I mentioned our workshop. I think is going from chaos to profit, something to that effect, Dr. Paula, right?
And I'll get more into that as we move forward. For the series, at this point, we're talking the hidden cost of hesitation, which leads from plan to profit, which what we're going to do in January. So in this session, as I mentioned, and I asked the question, how many of you promise yourself that you're going to do something and you let hesitation get in the way? So
we all do, Dr. Paula. We all do. But that's all of
exactly.
it.
That's what cost me money.
Yeah.
And I'm going to share with you how much it cost me. Okay.
You share
I
with us.
said, no, we're not doing this anymore. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree. I totally agree with you. I think it's easy to think today we're talking about starting. So I realize, Dr. Paula, many people start, and they're the good ones. And maybe I say many, and I say it's not most people. Many people will start. But I think a lot of people we have that vision for a bigger existence, a bigger impact, bigger business, bigger solution, bigger everything. But I think we literally talk ourselves out of it through hesitation. Is it through fear? Maybe. I think literally we choose to say small rather than going big, as we know we have to go. And we know, and then we'll say, "I'll do that later." Maybe I'm not ready to go big. Maybe I'm not ready to be that person that I need to be to do big things. Maybe I can't afford it. And I say we give ourselves all the alibis in the world. I say alibis. I didn't say reasons. Alibis. False narratives is what an alibi is, right? It's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, Dr. Paula, please. You carry on.
Well, as I asked the question, how many people, have promised themselves something, chose not to do it? Well, because of life, fear, or hesitation got in the way. So here's the truth about it all. You don't have a knowledge problem. You're extremely intelligent. You're brilliant. You're capable. There's nothing wrong with you physically or mentally. The problem is activation. And today we're going to interrupt that pattern of lack of activation. As I was growing up as a child in our household, we always had to finish. It didn't matter what it was, we had to finish. If you started something, you had to finish. And that started with just making your bed in the morning and cleaning your room. And I didn't realize as I was growing up as a child that the things that my parents were teaching us, doing everyday chores, and then they grew into other responsibilities and other things, that was teaching us a pattern of finishing and not giving up. So when we look at session one is going to be about awareness, understand the cost of hesitation. I'm going to share with you one of the biggest costs, cost me a lot of money. And so I'm going to share how that happened. It changed my whole thing on hesitation. Because, part of the reason we hesitate or we don't activate is because we lack the confidence that, this could be mine, or it's worth my time or not worth my time. So those are some of the lies we tell ourselves. Then session two is going to be about action. We're going to turn reflection into execution. And then session 3, we're going to talk about activation, connect your strategy to real results and next steps. So today we're setting an expectation. By the end of this session, you'll leave with clarity about your hesitation and what they are. You recognize them when they pop up and change that narrative. And a concrete step you'll commit to taking before the next session. So I've made promises, as I mentioned, to myself to change my career, start my business, or even take big leaps. And some of those leaps were forced, being downsized out of corporate a couple of times. That will cause you to jump ship or move or plan before it happens again, because that's an opportunity to plan an exit strategy so that depending on how the landscape is going at that company or within your business or a project, whatever it is you're working on, you have a strategy to exit before it gets too bad or you lose too much money. So some of those things that happened to us were strategic and moved us into a place where we belong versus a place we were comfortable in staying. And so what I found and what I learned over the years is every time I acted, confidence grew, my mindset shifted, and doors opened I didn't expect. And when I stayed stuck, I was frustrated. I wasted time, lost opportunities piled up, and I had a heaviness about me and not a joy and a lightness. I love doing business. It's so much fun to me. And I enjoy working with people and helping them elevate to the next level. And I love making money. But when it becomes heavy and like a duty or what have you, I need to check and see if I am operating and doing the things I need to do. And what I found is all of us enter into that place of busy work. Oh, well, we substitute information for consumption. In other words, oh, let me attend this webinar. I'm going to learn how to do this. Let me read books. Let me research, do busy work instead of taking real action. So many of professional learners attend webinars, download PDFs, take courses, but they don't do anything with it. And that information is not the gap. The implementation is the gap. And today we're going to start closing that gap. So let me give you an example of that gap. Several years ago, I had an opportunity to apply for a RFP, a request for proposal, for a particular project. And I didn't apply for it because I thought that the competition was too stiff. Some of the people I knew that were applying for it, I was like, I'm not going to do it. I didn't even bother. And in hindsight, that was the wrong choice, because what happened was no one got the award for that RFP, and that opportunity was a $25,000 opportunity. So that was a $25,000 lesson in hesitation. Okay, so after that, we don't hesitate about anything. I just put it out there. I go for it. Wherever it hits, wherever it lands, it is what it is. So write down one thing that you have been delaying that could impact your finances, career, or business. And who wants to share? You can put it in the chat. We can discuss it. I'm interested to see what you have to say.
My friends, I'll be thinking, I'll be responding, please. What's the one thing you've been delaying? So I think we all have something we've been delaying. So even I, I have for sure. Alvin, we'll come to you in case you want to share. Let me work some more of our friends for a second.
And then also, when you write that one thing down, also put how much it cost you. Now, I said mine cost me $25,000. How much was yours?
Yeah, it's just, some is clearly identifiable, quantifiable. But for many things, it's opportunities, right? It's what could have come, into expected, unexpected opportunities that we miss out on.
Absolutely.
Whilst we're doing nothing, something else doesn't come to us. Whilst we're doing something else, we haven't got what we should be doing. So it's all of that, right?
Absolutely.
So I do see you, my friend. I do see you. Dr. Festus, welcome. Glad you're here. Mike, I see you too. Mike, you're going to sleep out. Kairos, time to join us, a present to be here. Latifat, from the way Nigeria, welcome as well. Mike says, I hesitated to leave when I should have. Believing in scarcity. Yes.
That is an excellent. I've done that too. I have done that too because it's like you're paralyzed because you have your reasons why you want to stay in a situation, but at the same time that situation isn't serving you, and the more you stay, we lose out more than we actually think we're supposed to gain. So that's an excellent example.
Yeah, yeah. Look, my friends, you're gonna have to play ball, right? That's what Paula's not gonna just talk at you. She
Oh
does
no,
want to.
absolutely
She wants
not.
you to interact. She wants to know that you're being active, active
Yes,
participant, what she calls it, right? So
absolutely.
you're gonna have to play ball. Alavine, talk to us. Now, what are you putting off that you know you should be doing that you could be doing?
So, first of all, hello and thank you for all of you. I missed a lot of opportunity all along my life because I hesitated to leave. Due to that, I missed a lot of professional opportunities. Maybe I could have been someone else, with another kind of job right now. That cost me my sanity almost when I so it was not hesitation about leaving my ex, but maybe I should have been more maybe direct when I wanted to do what I had to do, but I didn't do it because I hesitated and I thought it was my duty to stay here to try to salvage something that was already done and die also. And another thing that cost me a lot, it was about learning English. If I had learned it earlier, maybe I could have an opportunity elsewhere, leaving my country earlier, having a job, having a better life. But I let's say I postponed that, and due to that, now I'm learning English and I'm taking every opportunities I can. And I can say that beyond hesitation, maybe we have some other things, but we will talk about that later, maybe today or if for the next session. But it is interesting your question because that gave me the opportunity to reflect on what I've missed and why I've missed it and how I did miss these things, even if it was obvious at the time, but I was unable to see it. And sometimes people around me made me miss the red flag. Yes, the red flag. I missed them. So I think a lot of things I missed due to my hesitation because I didn't listen to my gut as well, and I listened to others. And that is another mistake we can make, all of us, I think. That's my point for the moment. Thank you very much.
I think that's excellent for sharing. Thank you for sharing your information because we all sometimes are in relationships too long, and it's a process to let that go. Also, whether we take action on an opportunity or we wait and we hesitate, if I'd have done this, I'd have done that. Well, now we don't have to do that because now you are doing the things that you may have hesitated on before. So that's excellent. So you learn the lesson. And so that's really good, and you never know, wiser, a little bit more mature. Now you know what to take action on, when to take it, and how to listen what your intuition sounds like and to trust that and move forward. So, we're going to talk a little bit about time and energy drains. Time is being stolen from us every day by procrastination and indecision. So, I'm going to do a little exercise here my coach did with me many years ago. He said, you get 1,440 minutes a day. So, how many are wasted on overthinking, worrying, or what ifs, or being distracted by other people or other things? So he said to me, well, if you're worth $100 a minute, how much money have you lost today? That hits home. I don't care how you slice it. 10 minutes, $100 a minute. How much money is that? Okay. That hits home. And so when you start to look at the stuff we get distracted with and off focus with, and how we're sitting here overthinking for 20 minutes. Look at how much money we're losing, how much creative power we're losing, how much confidence we are wearing ourselves out. Because after you start, you overthink, then your mind, then your body's tired, then you're tired, and then you start saying things you shouldn't say. And then you go off and try this and try that, the latest and the greatest, and then all the social media and everything else bombards you. And the next you know, it's 2, 3 hours later. So, one day I was working on a workbook with this new software, which I shouldn't have been doing. And so it was 3 hours. I was fooling around with it. I finally got fed up with it. And I said, I'm not doing it. Let me go get somebody to do it. Took me 10 minutes to get someone to do it. But I lost $18,000. Why? 3 hours, $1 a minute. Let's go. If that's not a lesson, you know, and that, was in recent years. But I'm just saying, these are things of when we start to quantify time as a currency and look at time as a currency, and it's the most valuable currency you have because you only get a certain amount of time a day, period. You're not going to get an extra minute or anything like that. It is what it is. If you're gifted with waking up, then now you feel now it's time to move forward, because we have to, as we move forward in these sessions, we're going to identify the areas where you feel stuck. So I'd like you to write down at least one area you may feel stuck right now. And next, how much time and energy it drains from you on a weekly basis. And if you can quantify it by a number, that would even be good. So I'm going to pause for about 30 seconds, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to write that down. And then I want to see some answers in the chat, because I'm not going to sit here and talk to myself. So I am looking and I'm seeing all you people on here. I know you're here. I can see you. So I want you to participate, because all of us have experienced hesitation, procrastination, and all of those things. And by the time this is over, you'll have confidence in a new area. I've created an incredible assessment that Annie is going to be emailing out to everybody for the next session. And so I would suggest you take advantage of that.
I've already shared the questionnaire with Yolanda that she couldn't be here. Mm-hmm. I said to her, if you're serious enough, of course, she's serious. We're just about to publish her book.
Very good.
So, she was so I told her you have to be here next time and bring your answers. Don't turn up without your answers.
Exactly.
Do the homework. Mike, I see what you say. I've heard about launching my record label. The name is set and I've soft launched. I'm figuring out today how best to actualize, including distribution and sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the platform of DistroKid and Bandcamp. I already made a determination of how to pursue art, meaning over monetization. Okay. Dr. Paula, tell him that's crazy, right? If you're doing if you're doing your mission, if you're helping people, they will pay you.
Absolutely.
Let's not beat ourselves with monetization. That's not our problem. As Dr. Paula said, activation is our problem. Actually doing it is our problem. Making money is not the issue. Mike, leave the money thing alone. If you help people with your music, they will pay you more than you can ever imagine. That's how people get rich. People pay them for their creations.
Exactly. But then also from the standpoint of monetization, and what he's maybe referring to is how can he get more for what he's making? Or if he is putting all this together and he's not able to monetize it. And so if you're not able to monetize your message, then the messaging may not be right. Many times, I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer and different things. And I would come up with all these great ideas and these workshops and stuff and put it out there, nothing. Well, the message wasn't what the audience wanted. It wasn't clear. It wasn't what they were looking for. And you waste time and you feel defeated because it's like, well, you're telling them what you want to give them, but you never ask them what they want. And if in the music industry, it's very fickle. And so, from an artist perspective, from all of the creatives and everything it takes to produce a production, it's always good to have those teams and mentors and people who can help you decipher what is the messaging that needs to be monetized when it goes out. Then it's timing. Is it the right time for this message? There is a lot of music that's coming out now, again, that years ago, Marvin Gaye, what's going on? Now is you hear it more. Why? Because there are a lot of things going on in the US that were definitely need to be addressed. So those the music from many years ago is coming back. Then the new music that's coming out now is relevant to where we are. But will it be relevant 10 or 20 years ago, like some of those songs? So we have to look at from a realistic perspective how what is the messaging, what is the journey of the message, and what are the expectations from the person listening. What are they looking to hear from you or your artist?
I had a conversation with Dr. Festus a few days ago, or yesterday, I think, not 2 days ago. And I think getting your messaging right is so important.
It really
Many
is.
people can underestimate the importance of your message. I always work from the standpoint of you can explain what you do, how you help, who you help, and the benefits that they get from you in 30 seconds or less. You don't know what you're talking about. From networking circles, that's what I learned. If you can do your elevator pitch that was going to hook the right people in a room, then you have you don't really know your art, your trade, your sector, your niche. And I think we have to get very good at communicating.
Absolutely.
Is.
Absolutely. I agree.
I'm fascinated by Gladys's. Gladys is almost the other side of Mike. Dr. Lisa, I do see you. Welcome, welcome. So let me go back to Gladys. Now, Gladys says, I'm interested in having a podcast, but want to learn the right way to set it up. It hasn't cost anything because I'm working on getting my business set up right now. Almost like, I'm like waiting for things to be perfect, Gladys. You want to do the podcast, but you want to get business set up first. Doctor, go on, Doctor.
Well,
Gladys.
Gladys, I applaud you for your ambition. Now I want to see you pull the trigger. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to set your business up. So have you legally established your business? Have you set up a budget of what you're going to invest in your company to get it established? Have you, from a legal perspective, do you know exactly what type of business and designation? I'm not sure if you're in the United States or in another country, but what that
in the US, in the US.
Exactly. So if you're in the U.S., then you need to know if it's an LLC, incorporated, whatever, sole proprietorship. You need to have those designations. You got to set up your bank account. You got to get your, all of the things in alignment with the type of company that you are establishing. And as far as a podcast, you're going to have to spend some money. First of all, you're going to have to buy the right kind of microphones. You have to have the right storage and everything for your computer and a lot of other things. You're also going to possibly participate in either in a mastermind or some type of group that actually does podcasting with experts that can kind of help you walk through it. So you're going to have to put some money aside in a budget to do all those things. And I think it's admirable you want to do that. But now, what is the purpose of the podcast? Who is it talking to? What solutions are you solving? And where is your proof that you've done something similar in the past that would make people want to hear and listen and to buy into what you're doing now? So, and then how do you plan to get the guests? I mean, after you run through your friends and family, who's next? And so these are all these kind of things that, having the right kind of mentors, business coaches, and things like that will help you as you move forward in building momentum. So I'm looking for action from you on a weekly basis. I'm looking for you to complete that assessment that you'll be getting at the end of this session. And so now we're going to talk about our confidence. Every delay erodes self-belief. And so we wonder why we're not confident in everything. Now, when I start a new project, I may not be as I'm confident in the project. I know it'll work, but I haven't done it before. So there is a little bit of confidence growth that I need. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to do it, because I believe I know what I have is good. Now, I got to figure out how to make it work. And so your momentum, as you take one step at a time, because you get it on the go, that builds your confidence. Hesitation erodes your confidence. Confidence is proof you kept a promise to yourself. Hesitation is proof you didn't. So you promising, it's not like a diet. Oh, I'm not going to eat cake today, but but I'll have a piece tomorrow. No, it's not like that. When you're talking about a business, you're talking about your lifestyle. You're talking about the people around you, your children, your family, or what have you. And you're talking about legacy and what habits they see you operate in, so that they take those same habits and they know they can do it as well. So when you are deciding to do something that's public, first the people around you are going to notice it, but you primarily are going to notice it. Getting up every day, whether you are getting phone calls or whether you have clients or not, or whatever is happening or not happening at the time, but operating and serving and doing what you're supposed to do on a day-to-day basis, and continually moving forward and encouraging yourself, because entrepreneurship is a lonely business when you're first getting started. And then as you had a company for maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years, there are periods where things are slow. There are periods you wonder whether you should continue moving forward and make it plateau out or get stagnant, or you might have to shift and change based on technology. With AI now, with how we do business is very different than how we did it maybe 5 years ago, even 3 years ago. The equipment we use now is more sophisticated. So there's a lot of learning for action, not learning to gain knowledge just to say, I know, I know. So here's two truths I want you to take away today. Information without implementation becomes self-sabotage. Information without implementation becomes self-sabotage. The second, you don't need more readiness, you need more decisions. Make a decision and stick with it. Whether it's right or wrong, make a decision. It doesn't matter if it works or it doesn't work, because it's something you're going to learn in the process. And as you learn in the process, you'll make more decisions that are informed and will get the outcomes you expect. Wisdom doesn't come from not making a decision. Wisdom comes from implementing and moving forward and deciding to work with what you have, where you are, knowing what you know, and those around you. And then as you continue to do that, you will continue to gain business, gain traction. Your business will continue to grow, but more so, the entrepreneur, the individual leader has to grow personally and professionally in order to lead. So if everything's going around in a circle, that means you're not leading your own life. Whatever you're doing in your personal life or not doing is going to be reflected in your business. So if you treat money like a check, you treat your money like a checkbook with your business, as you do at home with your personal finances, guess what? You're going to be broke because you don't manage that well. So having the mentors in the areas of finance, a good bookkeeper or accountant or whatever tools you need, putting those things down, recognizing the areas that you may need to staff your weaknesses. I know the areas I'm weak at, so I make sure I have individuals that hold me accountable or actually do it. I was talking to a person today about this Canva, and I have a challenge with Canva. And so she told me what I could do. And then she told me some easy solutions for me and how to get things done. And so she said it's going to give yourself at least an hour or two a week to learn how to do one thing. I said, well, now that I can do. And then she said, and if you don't want to do anything, then there are people that'll help you. So with that, I'm making a decision how much time I'm going to give to learning something new, keep my brain active, be abreast, not always dependent on other people because I may need to do something right away. And so I'm going to implement that because she gave me a strategy. If I don't do anything and stay where I'm at, I'll be sabotaging myself and depending on other people all the time for some task that might be very simple. Any comments, questions?
It sounds like you're talking about the mental health costs almost of hesitation. The ruminating in your head, the constant what if, can I, should I, coulda, woulda, shoulda, sort of thinking, and it just goes on forever and just gives us a headache. And that's a cost in itself, right?
Yes.
Let me work on something. Let me go through some of the comments. Mr. Look, this is how we're gonna run things from now on, my friends. Mr. Guitar, Mr. G and Guitar. You're speaking to no one, right? No, I don't think you know how these events work. Clearly, there's people here from LinkedIn, people here from YouTube, not just you. You don't have a business. Look, if you have no ambition, don't come to our event. Stay away. It might sound harsh. That's how I'm going to be doing it from now. I don't want just talkers. I don't want wafflers. I don't want people just here to waste time. Who are you rambling to? Look, like I can't say it enough. Don't give me a headache, right? We're talking to our friends. That's people who are ambitious, people who have dreams, who have visions, what they want to achieve. Actually, who doesn't want to take action, not just talkers, not just wafflers. The serious people is what I call them. No, so we've gone through 2025, my friends. And for many people, I've seen them in the same place for the last 3 years, last 4 years, right? It's time to move on. It's time to take this step. It's time to achieve something with what's in our heads. Mike says, get out of your comfort zone. Growth happens in that space. Totally agree, Mike. So worst case, look, that's Dr. Paula said. We have to implement. Information that implementation is a mental health risk. We all know that, right? The thinking, the worrying, all I just said. 2026 is around the corner. Think of that, right? Another year's gone past. Have you done what you dream of doing? Have you done what you promised yourself you would do? Now's the time, my friends. Now's the time. If you're going to do it this side of 2025, we're going to do our best to move you forward in 2026, starting in January. I'm saying, we want to move. This is just one of the many workshops we're going to be doing. I say I want to be part of creating a star, a true legend, someone who goes big by implementing, by doing, by listening, by saying, I listened to all that stuff Dr. Paula said. I implemented. Look at me now. And no one says it's going to be easy, but it could take years. Dr. Paula normally tells me she doesn't talk to people who are not at least 20 years in business because they haven't learned enough yet. I'm saying we have to go on that journey. We must start and stay on the journey. Learn, become, as Paula just said, right? In time, we will achieve our dreams and beyond. We'll help people, impact the world. If that's not the vision you have for yourself, I don't know why you're here, really. I'm gonna say I still don't know. For my friends who are just information seekers, I still love you. Don't get me wrong. But it's a different kind of love to those who actually implement. Now, to those who want to go big, those who want to get serious and change the world and change, basically use a God-given gift. I was talking this morning about purpose. Also our purpose in Eric's podcast. We all have a purpose. Time to start living our purpose, my friends. The time is now. Gladys says, yes, I have a business coach. I have an LLC. I'm working on a few things right now. Thank you so much, Amy and Dr. Paul. All right, see, Gladys, I know you have a company already, right? Is it working? It's a straight question. Is it working? Is it doing for you what you dreamt of? Is it doing for your clients, your customers, what you envision? If it's not, it's time to put it right. It's time to get on the road that you actually want to be on. More impact, more value, more success, more income. Yay. Happier, better life.
We all enjoy that. And you know what? To help you move forward from reflection to action, As I mentioned earlier about the assessment, Annie will be sending that to you. And this is
Mm.
going to be your worksheet for you to kind of be able to gauge where you are for session two. It will form the foundation of your personalized 2026 action framework, because the workshop we're going to do in 2026 is actually going to be an action framework that you're actually going to implement and move forward. So the assessment includes your top business challenges. And for those of you who are have a career and you want to move forward in your career and go to the next level or what have you, you can use the same questions for that, whatever the goal is. You can use that those challenges for those particular things you're pursuing. And then
Yeah.
where you're stuck is the second takeaway you'll receive, whether it's financial, whether it's time, whether it's energy, and whether it's confidence, your mindset and how that has to change and how you can look at things differently, but just changing your perspective. Also, your top three priorities for the next 12 months. And
Mm.
one of them should be financial. And so that needs to be included in your assessment. And you will see those questions that will help direct you there to help you figure that out. And then there's one small action you can take immediately. Take the first step now. Write at least one response in your assessment. Even if it's a small entry, everything counts. The act of
Mm.
writing something down, what that does is the pen is the eye to the heart. So if you write
Mm.
it down, then you're committed to it.
For sure, for sure.
Business,
Yeah.
businesses don't succeed not because they don't have money, because of obstacles or not having money. It's because of a lack of moving forward in your own leadership. If
Yeah.
you won't do it for you, no one else is going to do it for you. So I look forward to next week with and hearing all your wonderful answers and sharing with you, and even helping you figure out some things.
Mm.
Doing this single, you're able to move from just being a browser to a buyer. You know how many books, as they say, that are in the graveyard because didn't write them. You know how many gifts and talents
Mm.
haven't been ideas haven't been brought to the forefront. But then you hear many people maybe saying things like, "Oh, I had that idea first, but so and so and this and that." No, just go with the idea. The best thing that can happen with every idea you have is it will work.
Mm.
When you look at FedEx, 13 times bankrupt, but does he care about the bankruptcy now?
No, of course not. Of course,
Okay.
you know,
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter how
no,
many times you
no.
try. You just keep going when you know. And that's really the heart of a visionary and a true entrepreneur. Just to give you a little backstory, my great grandmother, who graduated college in 1894, when we weren't supposed to be able to go to school, and she graduated cum laude and married my great grandfather. They had a phenomenal, successful shipping business to the degree that General Motors wanted to ship their cars. Nonetheless, wanted them to ship their cars. But had she not went through and finished school at the level she did, her daughter wouldn't have done the same thing, which was my grandmother, and she was successful in business. So the entrepreneurial spirit in my family came through people who didn't give up. So I don't have a choice. I got to do it. And even when it was a decision to do it again in my 60s at another level, write another book and just come out with all new stuff, that wasn't a choice that I had an option. I have to do it. I have a legacy. I have grandchildren, great grandchildren, and going forward, there are people that are waiting to hear what I have to say. And I
Yeah,
was created for them. You were created for them. So
yeah,
you're going to reflect on everything. You're going to identify your hesitation areas. You're going to identify what it's going to cost you. And then look at and make one small commitment, a micro commitment. Don't come up with a lofty thing because you're not going to do it. So we're not even going to go there. You just ain't not going to do it. Come up with something small that you can do every week. Like me, I'm going to take 1 hour every week and work on something in this Canva thing to help me do a simple function uh, more efficiently. So if I can do an hour, you surely could do an hour.
mm,
So then in session two, we're going to take the assessment responses and build a personalized action framework. And this is where we move from talk to execution. No more thinking, no more procrastinating. I can't wait to. I'm really excited to see what you bring and how we can help you turn your reflection into a real, measurable tangible and quantifiable actions. Thank you so much, Annie. I appreciate it.
I like that. We're still not done yet. So there's 46 minutes, so we're unless you have to go.
No, I don't
Yeah.
have to go, but I did
Okay.
want to make sure that they had a clear idea of the expectations, what we're looking to do, how we're looking to do it. And in this session, it's the cost of staying curious and uncommitted. And so when we talk about an activation problem, now's a great time to have the Q&A and discussion. If someone would like us to kind of micro coach them, we'll be glad to do that. We're open to receiving what you have, what you have to say.
Mr. Calm is here, so we'll get to him in a second. Yolanda, welcome. As I mentioned, Yolanda, I gave her the self-assessments earlier today because I don't think she's going to be here, but you're here. I see Yolanda. So Christiana, apparently you are our LinkedIn user. Right. Mike says Canva has made AI available to all across its suite, but it's AI is rubbish, Mike. I use Canva every day, and the AI, the video maker is the worst I've ever seen. What's the point making 5-second, 8-second videos that just don't follow the prompt? It's ridiculous. They have a long way to go, Mike. And I've never seen such rubbish in my life. But that's not a bad thing. It's it's a brand trying to do something, right? They will get there in the end, as Dr. Paula just said. How many brands do we know who are not making money? X hasn't made profits ever. Imagine that. Twitter, as we call it. Uber struggles to make profits any year. They haven't made a profit yet. Airbnb, these are big brands that we use every day. They're successful is how we see them, but they don't make a profit. Did they stop? No. Because they have a solution the world needs. What's your solution? Now, really, that's a question to you. This is what Dr. Paula and I are trying to tease out of people. We all have something within us. It's time to implement it. Mike says, Christiana had a health scare, taking a pause. That's you, Mike. Taking a pause and re-engaging. Excellent, Mike. As long as you're getting back to your usual self, Mike.
And I want to add to that. I had a health. I didn't have the health scare. I had the challenge, and I had to walk through it and go through a period of healing, and it took about 18 months. But in that process, and learning how to care for myself and care for everything else, I came out stronger to do what I'm doing now. And so with the scare, that might be the thing to jolt you into the next. And of course, we always have a fear of hesitation. Well, I had to pull back. Will they want this? Will they want? Well, it doesn't matter whether they will or they won't. This is a solution. Let me put it out there and see how it's going to work.
Yeah. Part of our reality, Dr. Paula, is that sometimes it takes something cataclysmic to make us move.
It does.
Something genuinely out of the blue and devastating potentially. Make us realize, we're not immortal. We are mortal. Our time is counted. Our time is going. The time is out. That's how life goes, right?
Yeah, it challenges us to change. And challenges are good. When things don't work, that's good, because then it's going to cause you to go in another direction. Or if you're spending too much money in one area, it's going to cause you not to spend it. There's so many good things that'll happen. Gladys, I'm so glad that you joined another health and wellness company that's more supportive. That's good.
Yeah, taking steps. Now take that step. Do something. So I got a friend who talks about the 5. And I think it's Sean Michael talked about the 5-second limit that we have to take that step. Do something. Do you think it and commit to it? Do it. Decide to do it, and then go and take a step. Make a phone call, write it down. Do something. Don't just let the idea sort of drift away. Yolanda says, "I'm here because any good. Here because I want to be any." Yolanda, you're too funny. Look, maybe there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? One way is no cats were harmed in this live. I promise you, right? I love my cats. I'll tell you the truth, right? Anyway, forget that, right? No, but literally, Yolanda, I think we get to either do ourselves, which might take effort and time, or we can subcontract. reach out to others who know more, the experts who know more than us. Get it done faster. I say that because one of the lessons I've learned from Dr. Paula is simply that a lot of people think they can come to these events. They listen carefully enough. They listen enough hours. They'll get it and go and do it. You can't. Sorry about that. But because Dr. Paula reminded me, we don't give anyone defined details. You're gonna have to talk to the experts to find out how to implement. Really, I did mindset like everyone else. I learned, I listened, I talked, I listened. Once I got a mindset coach, I couldn't apply the learnings. I thought I was Dr. Paula, but I was just, and I hadn't even started yet.
Exactly.
That's what I realized, right?
Mm-hmm. We all do. And, I need accountability. I know I need accountability because, and so I have to have accountability in certain areas that keep me on track because I'm a creative, and I like to play with different things and create stuff. And I can get caught all in that when I'm supposed to be focused on other things. And I would always, I know how to distract myself and stuff like that. So having that accountability, having a mindset coach, having different people that pop in and out throughout time help us refine skills or habits that we need to change.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk to Mr. Calm and then say that, of course, I love research about your Encore book. And then we can work towards the end. Mr. Calm, are you there? I haven't seen you for a while, Michael.
Indeed.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm all right. I've got things to focus on for a bit, but I'm still doing what I need to do, right? Anyway, look, welcome. Say that you're here. Share with that Dr. Paula because she is Dr. Paula. She's a genius.
Dr. Paula Washington.
He always calls me Dr.
Paula. A harsh genius, I might say. A harsh genius. A serious genius. Go on. So, what do you want to say? What do you want to add to our conversation? Do you have a question?
Yes, I do. I do, but let me greet everybody on the floor. How's everybody doing? And Eravine, bonjour, comment vas-tu? I hope you're doing well.
Hello, bonjour. I'm doing well. I'm good.
Ça va bien?
Yes, je vais bien. Et toi?
Oh, merci. Je suis bien. Je suis bien. Merci beaucoup. I wanted to ask Paula, Dr. Paula Washington. You mentioned something about fear of hesitation, and that piqued my mind a little bit. Because as I look at hesitation and its application in human life, there's a positive and there's also a negative. It has a positive and negative connotation as we look at it. Can you please explain the difference? And can you also explain how we move through life in identifying the two and applying the positive and negative aspects of them?
Okay, I can do that. That's a very good question. Positive hesitation. I'm going to take it down to a simple thing as going shopping and you have a budget and you see something you've always wanted and it's there, but it's outside of your budget or it's something you may not need at the moment. So you hesitate whether you're going to purchase it or not. A decision about hiring a new staff person. The company is doing well. It's cash flowing. Is this the time to hire a full-time individual or is it a time to hire a contractor or hire that individual contract and then later on consider them as full-time? Where is the business really? Is the individual you're looking at worthy of the opportunity? And then looking at the company growth spurt and how it's working. You have payroll taxes, you have all kinds of different things. So when is the best time to bring on full-time employees? When is the best time to say, you know what, we do need extra help. Why don't we get contract help? So positive, and and negative at the same time. I was talking with the CEO the other day, and he was considering hiring an individual for his business. And so we went through a series of questions and assessment, and he realized, one, that individual was not needed. And then two, if he was going to hire somebody with that particular skill set, it should be a combination of skill set that would support two different areas at one time. And that person should be a contract individual with a certain amount of time and certain projects. So he was able to create a whole complete job description for a role that he was originally, traditionally, what they would say he should have hired for. How does that sound?
That sounds excellent. I
Mhm.
certainly, I certainly love the fact that you talked about grocery shopping because
Well, I didn't
that's
talk about
very,
grocery shopping. I talked about shopping. Remember, I'm a girl. I wasn't talking about food. Food is a necessity, but shopping is another thing.
well, I'll tell you what, I'm a man. When you talk about groceries, I'm talking about food. And I
Yeah.
love the fact that you mentioned that because now I'm happy. I'm really, really happy.
Well, I'm glad you're
I'm
happy.
like, she's gonna go get me something to cook, something that I can cook, and something I can eat and put in my belly because I'm hungry. But there's also a cautionary tale there because if I go do the shopping and I'm in a hungry state, then what happens inevitably is I overspend buying more than I actually need. Why? Because my stomach is the one that's doing the talking, not my brain.
It's the appetites. And so with
Right.
that, before you go shopping or into any store, you eat first if you know that that's a habit that needs to change.
Yeah, that is true. That's exactly what I should be doing. But supposing I don't have anything there, then what do I do?
You'll figure it out. Because let's look at it this way. You already know if you go shopping on an empty stomach, you're going to be hungry. So that's a normal thing. So when you go in the store, buy something and eat it. So while you're walking around, you're not picking up everything.
There you
And let it be protein as opposed to carbohydrates. I mean,
that
those are simple little um, food measures that any human being can do. So you look up those things. Whenever you have a habit that's contradictory to being productive and it hinders your financial bottom line, create a support around it, whatever that is. We staff our weaknesses. Okay, so if we know that you have a weakness, then you figure out a way to alleviate that weakness.
I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah, so part of me thinks, Dr. Paula, the part of our conversation today, the hesitation, the cost of being stuck, is about being honest with ourselves. It's
Hmm.
self-awareness and genuine honesty when we talk to ourselves. We can't bluff our way to being the person who achieves something. We just can't. So I used the word alibi at the beginning. An
Hmm.
alibi is a full story that we tell ourselves. And we've all got alibis. This is something that we should all be doing that we're not doing. We all know that. I'm sure we all know that. We make
Exactly.
up, we call them excuses or we'll call them reasons. They're alibis, full
They're,
story.
they're, they're really lies. That's all it is. It's lie. We lie to ourselves. It is what it
Every
is.
day, every day.
And, and we
Yeah,
contradict what we say and all of these things. And then we wonder why stuff doesn't happen the way it should or why we're not as productive as we should be. And I like what Roxana said. Everyone needs accountability. Absolutely. All of us do. Just because we may be an expert in one area, there's another area that I'm not an expert in and I need help and I need accountability. And I have those friends that will check me in a minute. I have those colleagues that will check me in a minute. And I love that because I don't want to be around people who are yes people.
mm,
We want authenticity. One of the things in my Encore playbook, and I'm going to give you the framework for it because I think it'll help you at this point. Encore is about, like a play or a movie. You stand there and you can do your performance, and then the encore, which is usually the best thing that comes out after, and they give you clap and so forth and so on. So E represents exit with intention. We're leaving 2025, going into 2026. We need to leave some things behind. Habits. We may need to say farewell to to relationships that don't serve us or serve our vision or our purpose. We may have clients that really are not aligned with the company goals and that we might need to disengage with and refer to other people. We also have areas and projects and things that we're looking to do in the future that we need to make sure we have an exit strategy in case it doesn't work out as intended. So then we have N, navigate the new, after the crazy and the chaos. All of us have had crazy situations happen, and we have chaotic situations happen. We all have caused some, and some have happened. And so now that we're moving into 2026, which is uncertain, we need to have some structures and some boundaries and things established around what we can control. And then that way, when things pop up that we can't, at least we have a stabilized framework to move forward. And then we're looking at a C for commitment. What are you committed to really do? You know, sometimes people say, oh, I want to make $1 million. I want to make this. I want to make that. And I said, well, tell me your commitment level at the level you're at economically. Tell me what you're doing with your money or not. And then I know that they'll never be a millionaire or in that category because their behavior and viewpoint is not one that wants to build wealth. They just want to experience it. So very important in your commitment and then how you communicate. What are you saying? How are you saying it? Who are you saying it to? Because when you have a solid commitment and you communicate properly, you automatically are going to draw authentic connections. You're going to draw the people that will help support the vision and mission. You're going to draw people that would have skill sets and talents that can help you, which helps them. Because there's nothing greater to work on a team with individuals that everybody on there is using their talents and gifts, and the whole team is moving forward because each person is given the latitude to express themselves through their work. That is the most gratifying feeling in the world. And I love to set up companies and work with people that actually are in that space of building teams, and the businesses are moving in that way. And so the next thing you would have is O, for opportunities, being able to recognize them, to create them, to seize them when they happen, and then also align everything else with those opportunities that make sense and are realistic based on the complete plan. And then we're looking at R for relevance. We have to be relevant in our own business, in our own lives. We have to be strategic, intentional. We have to be concise and consistent. And we have to create progressive goals that resonate with our niche market or with the career path or whatever it is you're pursuing. They have to be relevant. And then E, the last E is for excellence, your personal trademark. What are you known as the go-to person for? What is it that you do that nobody else does, that everybody comes to you for that? That's your trademark. That's your strength. Live in your strength and stay up your weakness. Live in your strength and focus that in one area going forward in 2026 and looking at elevating that and capitalizing that. So that is actually the complete Encore playbook framework. And this is what I use with my clients and when I work with teams, when I work with women and whomever. And it's I learned that framework, I would say 20 years doing training and development. And then in my own businesses, I saw certain patterns in how I operated in each decade. And I realized, wow, I was creating an encore because one decade closes, another one opens. What happened in that decade can't go to the other one. But the things that happen in that decade that I had planned for will support the next decade or the next year or the next 5 years or 10 years. So being very strategic in my thought process and how I move forward. And so that is the Encore framework. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Well, I'm sure my friends can see why. I've chosen you as my mentor and my coach to get to that next level. Really.
Well, I am honored you consider me that. Thank you so much. I thought we were just friends.
No. So one of me people who have a gift that can move me forward. You know, I attach myself, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, I'm not like a leech. I wanna take it. I can. You know, to get to the next level, it's not as easy as it sounds. You know, many of us think we just keep doing the same thing, but we don't get anywhere. But it's, we just stay the same. You know,
Yeah.
if we were where we're meant to be today, then we have nothing to worry about. But most of us are not, right? You know, and I'm
So
publishing as a Paula's journal to go with the workbook, by the way, as we speak.
Yes, we are going to be a lot. That's another thing. How many of you have a book or an idea or a strategy or something that works for you that you haven't published yet? What's holding you up with that? Why haven't you done it? I mean, because you're in a group with a publisher. Hello. Would it make sense if you don't want to do a full book to do an ebook or something? I'm just saying, if I was in a group with a publisher, you could be sure I would be getting at least 5 or 6 things done a year. Okay, because
This lady has, Dr. Roxana has, let's say, we published 4 books this year.
oh,
Yeah.
congratulations!
So well done, you, Dr. Roxana. There's a couple more to go. So the question does apply to you still. What are you waiting for, so to
Well,
speak?
she did 4 books this year. Leave her alone. She needs
Yeah,
rest.
well,
She all the things she needs to do is create an outline for next year and figure out which one she's going to pull the trigger on first
I
quarter.
agree. I agree. Mr.
What do you?
Calm, there's a comment that Miss Alavine has said, I'll give you a chance to have your last word. Because we do have to go. So we're determined to keep this focused. That way we're not here for 3 hours. We're not going to be here for an hour and a half anyway today. Mr. Calm, what do you want to add, my friend?
I wanted to ask a question. How do we get a hold of Paula Washington? Because I'm interested in what she's offering and communicating with her with respect to this acronym ENCORE and trying to apply that.
Okay, great. You can go to my website, paulawashington.com, and you can register. I have a discovery call, and you can set up an appointment for a discovery call. My website is paulawashington.com. Or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn.
Or you can come to the workshop on the 12th of January.
That's true.
That's probably the easiest place.
Mhm.
Well, so all the methods are easy, to be fair.
Unfortunately,
because you can come back.
matter.
You can come back at our next session, which is and he's going to put up the dates and continue to finish the process, and then definitely the workshop from Plan to Profit in January. So we have a strategic series that's going to move you from one step to another, so that you will be prepared to execute your goals. And then, whatever collaboration you're going to do with any in Global.Media, you'll be ready and positioned for that. Or whomever you choose to work with, you'll be positioned for those things.
That's what I'm interested in doing. I'd rather not wait. I'd like to proceed as fast as I possibly can. So just like Annie did last year when we were going live, he actually went live before the year began. And he started acting upon it way beforehand. And I trusted that was a very good method. That's why he is where he is right now. So yes, and my intention is not to wait until January comes around. I want to start right away so that by the time January evolves into the next year, I'm ready to go, if possible. So
the discovery call, that's the fastest way there.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you.
Thank you for adding to our conversation. Look, I'm serious when I say I dream of action takers. Linda, of course, I see you. Welcome, glad you're here. The book is definitely on its way. I'm well aware, Linda, and I know the work you're doing. I did talk to Christina, so I know you're doing a lot of work to make that vision you had that you shared with us a good few months ago now to actually come true. I said, no, these are the people that I want to surround myself with. Calm, you're one of those. Alavine, you definitely are too. I say, no, let's. Here's my what does me in my frustration, if you call it that. It's not frustration because I let it go. Once I'm off the call, I'm like, oh well. live my life any, right? I think I want to be surrounded by people who are doers, who I can learn from, who I can be inspired by, and together we can inspire each other. That's my dream. Alavine, please, I see you're unmuted.
Yes. Thank you for this moment. It was very interesting. And I will say my last word for tonight. So maybe for you it's the afternoon, or maybe it's the morning, but for me it's tonight. And I will say just um, honesty is the best policy. That's of course the first thing toward ourselves, first of all. And we need to be ready to get ready. That is my second sentence. We need to be ready to get ready. When you said your acronym about anchor, I think about that. In fact, if we need to strategize, if we need to do things, in fact, we need to be ready to get ready. So before being ready to do something, we need to be ready to get ready to do that thing. It is a little bit strange, but
I love
maybe
that. I love that.
that's it.
I'm gonna write it down. That's how much I love it. Need to be, be ready to be ready. It means
Yes,
something, right?
we need. Yes, we need to be ready to get ready. That's my take for that, because it is quite interesting, and I think I was thinking about that sentence maybe last month. Yes, and I didn't know why I was thinking of about that, and I I was with, you need to be ready to get ready. You need to be ready to get ready. And tonight, while listening to you, Paula, this sentence came back in my mind, and I wanted to share it with you because I've learned a lot so far, and thank you very much for that moment. That's all.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I typed it in the chat, and I also put in there preparation meets opportunity. You can only succeed. So when you're prepared for something, you can only be successful. It can only win. So when we bet on ourselves, we win. I realized over life that when I didn't bet on myself and I listened to everybody else, that's when I got off track. That's when I lost out. So I'm excited to hear and see next week all of your assessment answers and what you learned from the assessment, and just looking to hear what you have to say. It's been such a pleasure, and I'm excited for you all.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Paula. Thank you, everyone that spent your time with us. Thank you, especially Alavina and Mr. Calm for coming on stage. Jay says people can be stopped by potential pitfalls. Potential is a word. The pitfalls may never happen, right? And analysis paralysis, indeed. We must move beyond that, Jay. That's what Dr. Paula and I are on a mission to do. We must move beyond that and start implementing. If there are pitfalls, yes, we'll fall into them and then we learn.
Exactly.
If you have a mastermind, a group of people around you, you will avoid those pitfalls. That's what your friends are there for. That's what the experts are there for. That's what the help that you have is there for. So thank you so much, everyone. Go on, please, Dr. Paula, carry on.
Yeah, I was going to say actually, pitfalls are necessary. You're not going to do everything right, and you're not supposed to. That's the only way you grow up and learn. However, blind spots are areas, as Annie was saying, you have to have people around you that'll tell you the truth. You have to have people around you that hold you accountable. And being in a mastermind or a mentor group or a network group that can help you avoid pitfalls is great. But some of those pitfalls you're going to do anyway because that's human nature. And so we're just going to do them, and we're going to learn. And then when we learn, we won't do it again. Because, like I said, $25,000 opportunity, I didn't do that again. Every time somebody called me for something, I submit a proposal because you never know. And so blind spots are our weak areas that we are not aware of.
Indeed. No, but we'll learn by implementing. My friends, I'm gonna DM you the self-assessment questionnaire. So please do complete it. I don't want to make excuses for you next week, right? So in 2 weeks' time when we're back again, So please do complete it. Those on YouTube, I don't know what to say. You have to message me for me to know, have your email. I can share the self-assessment with you. But my LinkedIn friends, I can almost guarantee I'll send it to all of you. And hopefully we'll see you again in the next show. Thank you so much, Dr. Paula. You're a star. Hopefully my friends can see why I'm excited by what's coming this year and in the next few weeks and in 2026 as well. Yeah, I think we're going to achieve it.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure as always. Love chatting with you, always.
We'll talk later. And I say, now we've got the butterfly sorted. I'm going to get to one. No one knows what that means. Only you and I.
Oh, that's an inside joke, So we'll chat later. You guys have a great one.
Oh, bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
She's success with Global.Media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. She's success with Global.Media.